you have a lot of experience. What works, what doesn't? Kind of share to the people listening here some of the experiences you've had, and then I'll be turning to Paula with the same question in a moment.
Sure. So I think, starting with the application process, making sure your application, if it's online, doesn't take more than 3 clicks to get through, else people aren't going to complete it. We have to realize that these days, a lot of these candidates are passive. They weren't actually looking for an opportunity. Recruiters are going out and trying to find them. Being able to do group interviews, accommodate them with a Zoom interview if they don't want to leave their current position and take time off to interview. The group interviews, these passive candidates do not want to come in for 2, 3, 4 on-site interviews. So you've got to make that interview process not as long. When I was talking about the manufacturing roles and warehouse roles, making sure we're scheduling interviews when we have them on the phone, because when we lose them off the phone and are waiting to find out when someone can interview, they won't call us back. They won't answer the phone again. So getting that all done right away. And then it's really nice if those managers can offer them the position on site, give them a tour, do the interview. If they like them, make them an offer. Then what's really important is making sure after that's all done that the onboarding process isn't too long, because they may have other interviews and opportunities out there. And if it's going to take a week to 2 weeks to get a background and a drug test back, we're going to lose them. So not saying not to do drug testing and background checks, but you have to move quicker on that, because again, you're going to lose people. And I think we're going to talk about this later, but the retention piece, then once you do get the people on board, and then retention with your current employees, because as much as our recruiters are out there calling other companies and trying to get those people interested in opportunities, recruiters are calling your people too, and they're getting multiple calls. I mean, my recruiters get multiple calls daily asking them to be recruiters elsewhere. So no, you've got to start thinking about the retention side. And Paul, I think you talked about that, seeing so many people leaving opportunities that there wasn't so much turnover. So it's not just that companies need people, they're losing people that they haven't experienced that in the past as much. So and then the last piece, and this is huge, flexibility. Clients have to be flexible. They have to be flexible if somebody says, is there any way I could come in at 7 and leave at 4? Flexible on hours. I know on the warehouse and manufacturing side, it's tough, but even if it's, they can just be a little bit more flexible on hours, flexible on the must-haves. Okay, if somebody's got 3 of the 5 things you really want, is it worth an interview? It probably is. So that flexibility piece is huge, because again, these people then can say, well, you know what, down the street, they're going to hire me and they're going to let me come work at 5 a.m. and be done so I can pick up my kids, or they're going to let me come in at 7. So flexibility is huge.